Rhonda with Flowers and More by Rhonda, and I'm really excited to be here with you all today. And a big shout out and a thanks to Scrap and Match for allowing me to be a part of this YouTube hop, my first ever. So if I stutter or anything, I apologize. But today, what I'm going to show in the hop is a fun way to use Beauty. Love this stuff. It's really fun to use. And this technique, I first viewed it from My Creative Spirit. So if she's watching, a big shout out to her and a thanks for showing this awesome technique. She has some beautiful tags that she has made. So I took her technique and added a little spun of my own with the way I embellished a tag. I love doing tags. I think they're a lot of fun. These I just cut out on my Silhouette Cameo. And we'll get started first by, let me get some of this stuff out of your way. But what you need is some distressing ink, and I'm using my favorite, Tim Holtz Vintage Photo. Love this stuff. And yes, I do overuse it. But I just love the look that it gives because I like old vintage look. And you'll need your Versamark watermark stamp pad and a tag, and then any type of embellishments that you like to work with and use. So first I did just distress the edges of the tag. Now everybody has their own technique to the way they like to do this, and a lot of you all already know how to do this, and just have fun with it. Do it however you want. There's really no right or wrong way, I think, to crafting. It's whatever you like, whatever you enjoy. Everybody puts their own spin on stuff, and you know. And like scrapbooking, you know, you use scraps to scrapbook with, you know. And of course, there's just so many different awesome things out there now that you can use. But once you do your edges, of course, I go back over mine several times. And then I just start working inward. And get it all the way around and work it in. Now, My Creative Spirit, she works with, you know, 2 or 3 different distressing inks at one time. And oh my, they're so beautiful. Just gorgeous. And, but she has other beautiful projects too. So, but I've kind of just pulled this together, you know, with people that I've learned from, that have inspired me so much, with different techniques that they use or ways to embellish with, and different things like that. Everybody has their own likes and their own dislikes to crafting and styles. So, but I call this dirtying it up. My mother-in-law and I we both love this color so much. But once you get let me clean that off there a little bit. Dust it off. My pads, I use it a lot. So, once you've got it distressed, as dark as you want it, or as light as you want it, or with however many colors that you desire, your next step will be, because we're going to go back over that some more, take your watermark stamp pad, and you just simply mash it around, work it in different areas, different ways, and then you'll see what will take place next. Some pretty fun stuff. But after you get it all worked on there, next you want to take a tray or a pan. I have these pie pans left over from a party that I did, and I thought, you know, that'll be great for my Beauty. So next you take your Beauty. I have a little bit in here already. And you just sprinkle it right all over your tag where you have used your watermark, and then you just shake it off, and you just keep working it and working it. This is a scrap piece of paper that I'm working with on this one, so there's some printing on the back that failed to print properly. Then once you get it all shook off real good, can you see that? I hope so. See all the little crystals? Next, you want to be sure you use a heat-resistant mat for this. And if you don't have one, well, I have another pie pan. I just lay that in there. And then you turn on, by the way, this is the most awesome heat gun ever. Love it. My son's got this for me for Christmas because I kind of killed my other one. But I'll show you what happens. And then I've got this. I just kind of help hold it down and in place. And I'm hoping you can see, it takes a little bit. The beauty begins to melt. Of course, some of it does fly off. No big deal. But it's best to work. You can do it on the mat, but I prefer doing it in something because it does kind of fly around, and it's kind of gritty when you step on it. So, but as you can see, it's starting to melt. And it takes just a few minutes. Some will fly off. And your tag or your paper or whatever you're using the beauty on will have a tendency of curling. So if you're doing a tag, don't sweat that either. My creative spirit showed what you can do to help straighten that out, and I'm going to show that to you too. I think that's enough to show you all. Okay, now it's kind of warm, but if you can see the effect that the Beauty gives. It kind of almost looks like water, and when you're looking at it, it looks like it's wet, but it's all dry. Dry, dry, dry. Next, let me get this out of the way, and we'll just move some of this, out of the way here, where I kind of made a mess, but whatever's left, you can just scrape it back into your pan, as long as your area is good and clean, and you can just remelt that right back down. Now, right here is a tag that I had already done, and the next thing I like to do, which this is the effect that it gives that I just think is like really super cool, but you take your distressing ink, and then you go back over and then it works down into the little crevices of the Beauty, and it just gives it this really cool, awesome effect. You got to work with it a little, and the more you work, the more depth you get. And it's just really awesome. Awesome sauce. One of my new words, by the way. So, before I do this other side, I'll hold it up so you can see the difference from the two sides, the effect that it gives. Once you get it all done, it's really cool. But if you want more UD, you can always go back and add more by using your watermark stamp pad. And then reapply the UD and heat it again. You can do the whole thing. I don't see a lot of people working with UD and, you know, on some of the groups or pages, which now I'm sure there's a lot out there who do. I just haven't. But I haven't really researched them. I like to dabble with different techniques and different styles and as I see them. So I also, you know, take an idea from Pinterest and work with it to kind of make it my own, or I'll pull 2 or 3 different types of techniques together, and which that's the whole point of it all anyways. And then I just kind of come in the middle here, just to kind of darken it up. And there we go. Pretty cool. I just think it's really neat looking. And then the next step to this tag, what I'll do is, I have this image here, and this is from Tsunami Rose Designs. I love Daisy's digitals that she makes, and she does journals and papers. She now has 12 by 12, so if you're lucky and have a 12 by 12 printer, she has some beautiful paper. But this one is from her latest printable journal kit from the Petticoat Ephemera. I'm not for sure if I'm even saying that word right, but I'll have the links down at the bottom. But this is one of the pages, and I'm going to use this image right here. And all I'm going to do is just take and tear it. Another good old crafting technique that I love. And I'm sure everybody out there has done this a time or two. But I'm just going to take it and tear it all out. But she, like I said, has some beautiful pages. And you could even use a photograph of someone that you love. You know, you want to put on a tag. But I think these are pretty just to put on gifts when gift giving. And then the next thing, I just distress the edges as well, all the way around. I did this same technique on small little tags. They're only about 3 inches long, I guess. I got those from Miriam's Crafting Supplies. And they're the craft paper. And oh my gosh, they're just the cutest little tags. And I think I'm about out of vintage photo. But I was in a ornament swap. And I did this little technique on 6 ornaments for a lady. And decorated them up. So this is sort of a bigger version. And she loves cats, so her images were little girls with holding kitty cats. And she liked vintage, and she loved cats. And I found the images. They were old postcards, so I used that. But I won't take a lot of time on this, just so you get the idea of what I'm doing. And thank you for allowing me to show you all this little technique that I love so much. So, and then I just kind of come in a little more just to age it some more. Because like I said, I love that old vintage look. It's so quiet in my house right now. It's amazing. Okay. Next, what I like to do is I grab my little handy dandy alligator clamp. I think that's what they're called. But my mother-in-law made this one for me. And I just take my longest corners that I have, per se, and roll them up, of course. Get a curl to them. Someone's home. I heard his car. Just give that a good little curl. And then I come back in and I'll age this side, or dirty it up as my mother-in-law and I call it. Because this will show a little. Whoops! She got away from me. I'm a messy crafter, by the way, just in case anybody wants to know. But once I get that done, then the next thing I like to do is I'll take my tag, and then I want to make sure that I have all the areas distressed so it doesn't show. And then I just take good old Mod Podge. By the way, if you ever have any little containers, my sons brought these home from a trip where they ate at. Wasn't that awesome? I just pour myself some Mod Podge in them and then seal it. So that way I'm using small amounts of Mod Podge. Because I noticed my big jar was starting to dry out. And I thought, I gotta come up with a way to do this a little different here. So those little containers worked out perfect. Next, you just put it all over the back of your image, which I know you know how to do that. And then I'm going to adhere it. You could even glue this on with your favorite glue, which this happens to be mine. This stuff's pretty awesome. If you don't want to do the Mod Podge. And then I just get that to adhere pretty darn good. And then next, I will go back over my image. The first time I seen anyone work with Mod Podge was Craftin and Stampin. Well, she got me addicted. So, I've been playing with it ever since. In fact, it was an ATC card swap she hosted, and that was the first ATC card. That was probably the first swap I'd ever done, or exchange. But that was a lot of fun too. So, and then I just get it around my edges, and all across my back here, because I want that to stay curled. If you've ever seen like that tin that's been curled up, I think that's just the coolest stuff. Metal. And then we're going to do this. I think this is the fastest I've ever crafted in my life. My problem is I sit and I look and I look and I look and I dwell on it for hours. Some people can pull everything out together, lay it all down, and go to town. Nope, not me. Now, we'll just let that dry. And, oh, the tags will have a tendency of curling once you use the UD. Don't fret. Just when you cut yourself out a tag, or if you use, a store-bought tag, use 2. And you can just take it. I have another one right here. And before you get your embellishments on, which I sometimes forget to do, use your favorite glue or your ATG gun. And what my creative spirit said do, and it does work, is adhere your tag to the back, like so. And it helps to straighten it out. And then, of course, you may have to work with it some, especially after you get the embellishments on. But once you do that, you're pretty much good to go. And I've also cut out the little rings for right here. You can use your favorite cardstock or a different color cardstock. I just took, just to save paper, and then I colored this. You can use a spray or a different color distressing ink, whatever you prefer. So, next, once you do all that and let that dry real good, you want to come back around your edges, and I'll show you what I've done here. I have one completed, so I wouldn't bore you all to death. But then just go back around your edges where I have put the additional tag on, and just darken it up some more. And that'll take care of your edges and finish those up. I've already done it there. But that's it. And then you embellish to your liking. And, oh yes, one more thing. Her kit, Daisy's kits, from Tsunami Rose Designs, comes with several different types of embellishments. I was saving to put my sentiment on. So, yes, her kits are absolutely wonderful. So all I'm going to do is just distress this edge up here a little bit. Just to give it a little bit of an aged look. And then voila. Next, I will, another little tidbit I wanted to share with you all. Save your little wires off of your flowers. I have myself a bucket full. They are great to use to unclog your glue. I don't know what, I've done everything. I've stuck pins in them. I thought, well, that'll work. No, just to keep the pin in them. So I just save my little wires, do a little run through, just to unclog. So next, now I've got this little technique. I know everybody knows it. I just love doing it. I just grab a hold and pull. This I watched Angela Holt do on one of her shows. I just thought it was the coolest thing. She did a clipboard. She used Graphic 45. Angela, you'll be proud of me. I remember this. She did a clipboard, and what she did was she altered it to be a picture frame. And she used Graphic 45. Beautiful. And that's where I first learned that at. And then we'll just give it a little bit of glue. I don't think I unclogged it very good. Yeah, I did. There we go. A little bit of glue. And then we'll adhere it right onto the tag, like so. And that's it. Easy peasy. Fun, fun. And I'll show you all the tag. Hope everybody can see that fairly well. And see how the different levels of the distressing takes using the uni. This is a fun technique. I love it. I've done it on all kinds of things. I'm right now mentally working on a canvas for someone who, well, I can't go into details, but we had she had sent me something that I just absolutely love. So when I get it done, I'll do a video of it. But then I just embellished this tag the way I wanted. These beautiful flowers are from CraftyCity.com. She has the most awesome flowers. And then this beautiful piece of lace came from this. This came in when Angela Holt had her shabby chic kits that she was selling. This was a piece I have used a lot of this on a lot of different projects because it was like almost probably half a yard. But she showed something on one of her shows where she took and cut, you know, and used different. I was like, how cool. I never even thought of that. I thought I had to use the whole piece. So see, I've learned a lot from a lot of different ladies. So I just cut these little pieces off. This is all I have left of it. And then I just scrunched them in and placed them here and there. And these beautiful leaves are also from CraftyCity.com. And, but I love making tags. I never thought I would like making a big tag, but I made one a couple weeks ago. And I thought, I think I really like these big tags. And then I was going to put lace down here and then add this trim, the teardrop trim. Then I didn't like it. So I just took that piece and cut it up and placed them in various little areas all throughout the flowers. And let's see, this came from a necklace that my daughter had bought at a yard sale. That little bead did. And this charm is from my friend Christina. And you should check out her store on Zibbit. It's craftingfriends.com. And yeah. And be sure to check out Daisy's store also on Zibbit. Tsunami Rose Designs. She has some beautiful digital papers, especially if you like vintage, because that's what a lot of hers are, vintage. And then this is some lace that I believed it was from Gisela. I had one at a show that Angela Holt had when she launched the bling line she used to carry. And Gisela sent me that, so her laces are very beautiful too. But thank you so much for visiting my YouTube channel. And play with some beauty. It's a lot of fun. Make your whatever. And then please subscribe. And a big shout out to all of our sponsors who is sponsoring our YouTube blog hop. And to Scrap and Madge for hosting the whole thing and allowing me to be a part of it. And to all the wonderful crafters who are in the hop with us as well. And thank you so much. And you be sure to check out my next YouTube co-hopper. I'll have her link at the bottom of the page, or at the bottom of the video. Thanks again. Bye-bye.